When we started working with Luca on it, I wanted this idea of um, that each look had to be from the period and that it all could fit into one suitcase. So it was like everything was one individual look for each character. So it wasn't like duplicates made. And this idea that you go from like white to like very dark brown at the very end, this idea of nearly like heroin, and it's sort of like drugs ultimately, drugs and addiction. So.
And was it a book that you were familiar with before this? And
I love the book. It's like I remember when I was younger reading it, and I was always fascinated by the cover, which is a Baselitz image painting. And there's something about it. It's like it's a cult. It's a cult book, and it's sort of like. I think what is amazing about the film is it's like a great romance that I think we all go through. I think everyone has been through that process in some sort of form.
I really love the way it captures queer desire, especially just in the how tactile it is.
Yeah, I think we've all been in that kind of weird situation where you're in love with someone and you don't know where it is, and you don't know where it goes or where it starts, where it ends. And I find this really. I think it's sort of like I think anyone who watches the film will be able to relate to that kind of emotion. I feel.
And could you give me a bit of an insight into collaborating with Luca? Because it's obviously
you're a very dear friend. So I have worked for Luca for many years, and it was really nice to be. We had worked on Challengers, and then we had gone into production on this. So it was quite nice to go from like one thing to another. I wouldn't do it for anyone else.
And Drogi looks fabulous as a kind of Oscar Wildean type character. Were you familiar with his Chloe Sevigny video?
Of course. Like, me and Luca were obsessed. And when Luca was, when we were working on the casting and he was saying he was going to have him, I was like, oh my God, this is amazing. And his character I based a lot on like early George Pat Lyons images of like Man Ray and people that he had shot in period. And it's a very amazing image of Marcel Duchamp. And I was like, this is what he should look like. So when he has the metal flowers and things like that.
And were there any other references that you used for the other characters that you could share?
A lot of it was based on historical images, but a lot of it came from early photography for the period. George Pat Lyons. I was looking a lot at, for example, like Paul Cadmus and things like queer painters of that moment, and like the pajama kind of crew. Something which was like it was different from doing sports to this. So.
And just finally, could you just talk a bit more about dressing Daniel Craig particularly?
Well, Daniel is it was like I was quite nervous when I was first doing it, because I was like, how he's worked on such huge films. I was like, how are we going to do this? And what was amazing is his knowledge of like how he wants clothing to react. And it took me a long time to find the suit, because I wanted an original suit from the period in linen, and it was amazing watching him come to life in it and how he wanted the suit to be and how the shoe needed to be. And I don't know, it was really fascinating. I really, really, really enjoyed working with him.